this is my basic, my basic rubric for a project, for a creative project, all right, is three things. It's three-pronged thing. And I have been saying this for years. I mean, like when I was, had created my first like column for Vice, I was already pontificating and like, here's the 3 rules for blah. My father's an academic. I don't know. Maybe I got like, I like picked up some of that. But basically, one, right? And this is, I guess, more tailored to, serialized kind of thing. But one, is this something that you are the right person to make a bunch of, or make a whole thing of, and make a whole movie, a whole season, a whole series of this? Is your knowledge conducive to that thing? And do you like to do it? Are you interested in that thing that you're doing, whether it's stand-up or whether it's a series you're writing or whatever? Like, do you like that thing? Do you have the knowledge to fill whatever it is? If you say, I'm gonna write a TV show about paleontology, like, are you a fucking paleontologist? You know what I mean? Like, that's probably the first thing. Secondly, if you are a paleontologist and you are gonna write this thing about paleontology, are there other people who are into paleontology enough to want to consume it, right? Does anyone care? I might say, oh, I want to dissect Aphex Twins, like second, single, the Japan only release, because that's interesting to me. Yeah, okay, sure, but there's only 3 other people in the world who care about that, right? So is there an audience? Does anyone care that you're doing it? Do people want to watch that? And then thirdly, you could fill those first 2 things and still have a really lame pitch, right? But what's the hook? Do you have a hook? Is it interesting? Everything I've ever done can be boiled down to 3 words, right? So it was Muslim eats pork, right? Or it was weed cooking show, or it was, whatever, psychedelic mountain honey, right? Or whatever it might be. Like, you got to be able to boil it down. I mean, so often I hear somebody pitch something, and I mean, I feel like this is like more of my development side coming in, right? But so often, I hear somebody be like, oh, I have this show, like, what's it about? And it's like, well, it's about like a mountain town, and then there's like, there's a small group of whatever sorcerers, I don't know. And it's like, wow, if you can't just give it, and I don't want to be reductive, I don't want to force people to be reductive of their stuff. But man, we live in a hyper information age. Like, you better be able to explain what you're talking about and, boil it down. And it's got to matter to somebody within a sentence. Otherwise, it's probably not worth doing,
We talk about word economy and stand-up all the time.
Yeah. Oh, man. And stand-up is great practice for pitching. Stand-up is great because you know what pitching is? It's making people like things that are coming out of your mouth. You know what I mean? Like, and that's what you're doing in a pitch. You're saying things because you want people to like what you're saying and think that it has value, right? And if they're laughing, or if they're, like, oh yeah, stroking their chin, then you're doing something right.